Hello and welcome to Connect Your Text Tip of the Week. I'm your host, Matthew McNamara. Are you thinking about creating a new email address but don't know where to start? There's lots of reasons why you might want to consider having a new email. Maybe you still have an email from your internet provider or from college or university. Maybe your address is a little bit, how you say, embarrassing and not something that you'd want to see on a resume. Regardless of the reason, on today's show, I'm going to show you how to create a new email address.
Well, the two most compatible and universal providers that are out there right now are Gmail and Outlook. On today's show, we're going to be working with Gmail. Gmail is part of Google, and by having an email with them, you get lots of access to lots of different systems and features. One such system is YouTube. If you have a Gmail account, you now have a YouTube account, and that means you could upload a video to YouTube to share with your friends and family. So let's take a look at how to create a Gmail account. I'm going to be doing this from a computer, but you could create it from your internet on your phone or your tablet. It's just a little easier on the computer. First thing to do is to open up whatever program you use for the internet. Once it's open, up in the address bar, type in gmail.com. Once the page loads, click on Create Account. From here, you'll be asked to fill out some basic information. The important one to focus on is choose your username. Your username is going to be your new email, so you need to stop and think about what you want your email to be, especially if your old email was something embarrassing. Don't just pick something on the fly. Maybe you need more time to think about it, and you can come back to this page after and fill it in. When it comes to picking your new email address, you want to avoid something that's overly complicated or could appear non-professional. So let's keep it simple. I would just try your first and last name. Now I already have an account with that, so I'm going to make one up for today's tutorial. Personally, I would avoid underscores or periods because it makes it more complicated for someone to type out your email or even remember it when you give it to them verbally. You might see this message pop up. Someone already has the username. Try another. This means that someone else is using this email address, so you can't have it. Google even gives you some suggestions for alternatives. However, these suggestions contain random numbers. Personally, I would avoid using an email with numbers. Instead, why not try using your middle initial? Once you click into the password field a second time, if you don't see that same pop-up, then it means that no one else has this email address and Google has accepted it. So this will now become your new email address. Next, create a secure password. Google pops up this little strength meter as you're typing to show you how secure your password is. When you're done, if it's green, you're good to go. If it's not, maybe try to think about a better password. Next, fill out your birthday and gender. After that, it's going to ask you for a mobile phone number. Right now, all major email providers require you to have a mobile phone number to create an email address. This is for security and verification purposes. If you don't have a mobile phone, then what you should do is ask a close family member or friend if you can use theirs. There is no getting around it. You have to provide a mobile number to create an email account. Next, they want to know an alternate email address. So if you already have an old email address, you can enter it here. If you don't have another email address, just like the phone number, you would have to ask someone to use theirs. If you can't remember your password in the future, it is going to email you a reset to this other email address. So you need to have one in place to send the reset to in the future. Finally, there is this Prove You're Not a Robot section that has a picture showing. This is to prevent software from creating fake email addresses through Gmail, which happens all the time on the internet. It wants a person to actually interact with the form so that it can create the account and know that you are a person. They give you two options that you can use for this. One is to check off, skip this verification, and use the phone. This only works if you have your own mobile number, because what's going to happen is it will send you a code via text message, and you will be asked to enter the code on the computer to continue. So if you don't have your own phone number, you're not going to get the code. So if you don't have your own phone number, or you just don't want to send it through text, you have to look at the picture and try to see what the numbers are showing in the image and then type them into this box. If you have a hard time seeing what the number is, There is a refresh button that you can keep clicking until you see a clearer set of numbers. Also, you can click on the speaker icon and it will actually read the numbers out to you. Once you have the numbers, go ahead and enter them into the box. The last thing here is you have to agree to Google's terms of service. Check that box to accept and click on the next step. It will give you a welcome message and show you your new email address, so go ahead and write that down because that's your new email address. Click on Continue to Email. Now it wants to walk you through this little pop-up to show you some of its features so you can read them and click Next. It talks about how it automatically sorts your email, how you can add your own backgrounds and customize the look of Gmail, how it's available for your phone and tablet, and how you can now use Google Plus to video chat with other people who have a Gmail account. So Google Plus Video is just like Skype or FaceTime, but it's between Gmail users. Once you're done, click on Go to Gmail. They try to make it easier and show you this little setup progress bar. Right now the account is created. However, I have options to learn about how to use Gmail, how to get Gmail on my phone, how to choose a theme, import contacts in Mail, and change my profile image. If you want, you can click on each of those and let Google walk you through the process. If you are new to Gmail, I recommend at least going through the Learn How to Use Gmail to get the basics down.
And that's how to create a Gmail address. Next week, I'll show you how to set up what's called email forwarding. So what that is basically when someone sends an email to your old address, you'll actually be able to see it and reply to it from your new account. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, please subscribe to my channel and share it. As always, thanks for listening, and this has been your Tech Tip of the Week.